Hey guys, it's Alyssa and I am back with Vlogmas day 3, and in today's video we are going to be doing a Q&A. Sorry if you can hear sirens behind me currently. Apparently there are sirens going down the road. Hopefully everyone is okay in that situation. But yes, we are doing a Q&A today, so I posted up on my community tab here on YouTube and also on my social media to post questions if you have any. So I have a few questions, but also I'm going to address some common questions that I get. So yeah, let's start this small business Q&A. So first of all, like I said, my name is Alyssa and I'm the owner of Alyssa's Vintage Decor, which is an Etsy shop, and I have owned it since March of 2023. So I've been running it for a little bit over a year. It's going to be 2 years coming up soon, which is crazy to think about. I had an Etsy shop before that did more like vintage clothing and also at one point some digital art that I made. Like I made stickers and I made art prints and stuff like that, but I really gotten away from that and I rebranded the whole store, went with the Alyssa's Vintage Decor, and started that in March of 2023. So even though my shop says established 2022, technically Alyssa's Vintage Decor didn't really start until March of 2023. So did want to clarify that because I do get questions on when the shop started and kind of the idea behind it and all of that. Another common question that I get is where I'm from. So I live in Ohio, and that is obviously where the shop is based. It's fully online, so I don't have an in-person shop and I don't have an in-person booth in an antique mall or anything like that. So everything is stored in my own apartment, and yeah, I do occasional markets and pop-ups as I've shared here on YouTube, but for the most part, it is all on Etsy. All right, I think that's the main bit of FAQ that I get. If I'm forgetting anything, I'm sorry about that. But also, if you didn't get the chance to ask a question that you really wanted the answer to, you can put it in the comments down below, and I'll try my best to get to that as well. I'm trying really hard to get to every question and every comment and all of that anytime I get them. I'm still very small here on YouTube, so it's not too difficult to do that just yet. All right, without further ado, let's get to the questions that you asked. So I did get a question on my community tab post, and that was, what was your favorite thrift find ever? And I love this question so much, not only because it's so fun and speaks to my heart of like what I love to do, but also it's like one of the questions I feel like it's harder to answer fully what I look back on and I'm like, oh my goodness, this is one of the best finds ever. I will say one of the finds that I thought was so cool when I found it was the pitcher and bowl set that are like a marbled set. I'll put a picture up for you. I think this is one of my favorite finds. I found it at Goodwill, and one of the reasons I think I love it so much is because it photographs so well. It's so spectacular. I'm honestly shocked it hasn't sold yet, and every time I take it to like a live event, I get so many compliments on this specific piece, but it's kind of a niche type of product and piece, so I understand why it might not be as popular, but it definitely is a statement piece, and I think it's one of my favorite finds for sure. Another favorite find I have to say is this really cool embroidered sign that says it's like a garden seed sign. It's something that I just remember I was actually at an antique mall, so this is less thrifting versus like, you know, what I found at Goodwill, but I remember like walking around and just being like, oh my gosh, what is this? And I love embroidered art, and I saw that like in the corner of my eye. I almost walked past it and would have missed it entirely, but thankfully I came back and found it and took that home with me, and it's kind of another item that I'm surprised hasn't sold yet. So both of those are still available on my Etsy shop. As I've shared previously, if you want to check out my store, it's always in the description. All right, let's move on to the next questions, which were asked on Instagram. So the next one is, if you could have one wish, nothing is off limits, what are you wishing for? Ooh, that's so hard. I feel like I should keep this business related since this is a small business Q&A. I feel like I should keep this related to Etsy. I think I would really love to own my own brick and mortar store. I know a lot of people think that that type of retail is like it's in the past and all of this stuff, but I have been obsessed with like merchandising and all of that, running your own little store since I was a little kid. I feel like all of us as little kids love that type of stuff, like running a fake shop, playing fake shop and having like a little cashier's stand or whatever. I was always that kid that loved that. So I think that would be, if I could have my dream come true, a wish granted situation, it would be to have my own brick and mortar store. I would love it to be like super cute and homey, maybe even in like a vintage building that's maybe been a little bit remodeled. I've always thought about like if I could get a store, because there's one near where I live in downtown Pickerington that is kind of abandoned. It's not abandoned. I think someone owns it, but they're not using it for anything. And I'm just like, if I could buy this, I would. But it's just like, it looks like an old garage, like maybe like an auto body shop or like a car shop or something. But it has a glass, almost completely see-through garage door. And the whole building is painted white, but I would love to like paint that a really fun color, like pink or something, and put like, some plants in front of it and make it like a beautiful place where you can go and like take really aesthetic pictures. And then you can, open it up during the summer months and let people come in and out of your store really easily. Because I always thought it would be really fun to not only run a shop that sells, like home decor and vintage, but also is like a little coffee shop. So it's like a 3-in-1 space. So yeah, that would be a dream come true as far as a wish I would love for my small business in the future. All right, guys, so last question, and this again was from Instagram. What's your favorite part of running a vintage shop? Ooh, this is a good one. I would say I love putting together the drops so much. It's so much fun to like just curate everything and make it all fit together. One of my favorite drops from this year was my autumn drop called the Falling For You drop. I loved putting that all together because I had so much gorgeous colored glass, including my favorite type of colored glass, which is amber glass. And it's just so pretty and photographed so well. I loved putting that together. So I think that's probably one of the aspects that I enjoy the most about running a small business, is getting to kind of like see the vision in your head and then see it come to fruition is so satisfying. And I really enjoy, hearing from you that you loved the products or that you think they're so beautiful as well. Anytime I can hear some feedback from a customer, it's always awesome. So there's several aspects of what I love, but I would definitely say like my design brain and like my home decor brain, like that's the part of it that I just enjoy so much, is like putting a whole collection together that just works and flows so well. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for submitting those questions. I really appreciate it. I was so happy to be able to do a small business Q&A for Vlogmas. And speaking of that last question, with my favorite part of running my small business being the whole putting a collection together, I have to say my latest collection, the New Year's Eve collection, which just dropped today, actually at 8 p.m., so the same time that this video is coming out, is one of my favorite collections because all the pieces, again, flow really well together and they just turned out so perfectly. So definitely make sure and check that out. Like I said earlier, the link for my shop is in the description. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode of Vlogmas, and I'll see you tomorrow for episode 4. Have a great day, guys. Bye.